Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Friday. It is Friday, the 10th day of February 2023. Happy Friday. I hope that you and your family are healthy and safe today, and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food and shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field who, along with the first responders, every single day are saving lives. Blessings also upon those that pick up garbage for us to keep streets and sidewalks clean and disease free, and highways, parks, and buildings and stairwells, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover the children and the teenagers that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia, the victims of prostitution, child pornography, sex slavery, human trafficking. Double curses on the perpetrators, double curses on the profiteers, double curses on the perverts that create and do this industry. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. There are nearly 600,000 men, women, and children, mostly children, living on the streets in the United States of America and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Please remember also the people that are suffering in Turkey as a result of the massive earthquake that took place there recently. There's going to be a basketball game tonight. The New York Knicks, will be visiting the Philadelphia 76ers. As we go into tonight, after this exciting week with the trade deadline having passed yesterday and all the moves that were made when the smoke cleared, as far as Philadelphia, they sent Matisse Thybulle to the Blazers. I don't like the move. I never understood why they were in such a hurry. Matisse Thybulle been on the trade block for about a year, maybe more. I never understood why they wanted to trade him. But then again, I favor defensive players, and Matisse Thybulle is an excellent defensive player. I know he's very limited offensively, and perhaps that had something to do with it. But they sent him to the Blazers. The Knicks, as we know, acquired Josh Hart. Don't expect Josh Hart to actually play today. He just got a number. Number 3 he's going to be wearing. And, I'm expecting him to be obviously at the game dressed, but I don't expect him to get into the game perhaps until tomorrow night's game against Utah or Monday's game against Brooklyn. He has to get acclimated to Thibodeau's system and understand Thibodeau and what he expects, which I'm sure he'll be easily acclimated to because he comes from a very good program at Villanova that produced lots of really good players, including 3 that we've been talking about recently: Jalen Brunson, the aforementioned Josh Hart, as well as Mikal Bridges. So the Knicks right now are on a 2-game winning streak. They're 5-5 in their last 10. They're 9.5 games out of first place. They're a half game behind the Miami Heat, who beat Indiana on Wednesday night. And so we're a half game behind the Miami Heat. We're about 3.5 games from the 5th spot, which is the Brooklyn Nets, who won yesterday as well. Brooklyn actually beat Chicago yesterday, played very well. And then the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're about 4.5 games away from the Cleveland Cavaliers for the 4th spot. And so it's going to be a dogfight. Here we are. This is really the prelude to the playoffs right now. And as we get closer to March and then April, every game it comes more and more important. So this is obviously an important game. Now for the Philadelphia 76ers, Joel Embiid is listed as day-to-day questionable because of his foot. He's questionable for the matchup. Now, this is another thing you have to keep in mind if you're looking at Joel Embiid as a prospect for a trade in the future. His rookie year, he was out the entire rookie year coming out of Kansas because of his foot. And he's been on and off with the foot for years, okay? Guys that are as big as he is, and he's a big guy, he's got to be 275 pounds if he's not a pound, but he's a big dude. And it puts a lot of pressure on your feet. And it's not uncommon in the NBA for big men to have foot problems. In fact, this is what caused Bol slippage when he was going to be drafted in his rookie year. He had broken his foot at Oregon and come back from it, but it's a red flag. It's a big red flag when big men have foot issues because, like I said, it's a common thing among big men because of the fact that they are large and their feet have to carry that pounding for a professional basketball career. So that's something to keep in mind because he has had these foot issues before, and it's not going to get any better as he gets older. Okay, and so for $50 million a year, I think we'd like something to be a little bit more sure thing in terms of his health. So that's the question mark. He is a superstar, no doubt about it. And his absence would make a great difference, in tonight's game if he's not there. But we're going to assume he's questionable, which means he's possible. So let's assume he's going to play. For the Knicks, let's see here. For the Knicks, I think our injury report, except for Mitchell Robinson, we got Josh Hart as day to day, which we said like he probably wouldn't play today. And then Mitchell Robinson is out. We're not sure of the timetable yet of his return. I know he was supposed to be reevaluated this week. And so I'm hoping to get some news on him before the Utah game tomorrow night. Get some news in terms of how far away is he, okay? But I expect him to be back after the All-Star game, obviously. So, but we're hoping we can get him in a couple of games before that if he's healthy. So we're looking for Mitch Rob news very shortly. And it's just him and Josh Hart. And again, Josh Hart just got here, so he's day to day. And he'll probably, like I said, he might be ready to play tomorrow night. Maybe, let him get a chance to get acclimated. All these guys got to fly to their new locations, go through physicals, paperwork, and all that. And so we'll see him soon. We'll definitely see him by the Brooklyn game on Monday. So right now, it looks to me like Tibbs is probably going to go with a 10-man rotation. We will find out. You're not going to see it tonight. I'd be surprised if we did, but he's probably going to go with a 10-man rotation. For example, Philadelphia. Philadelphia starts James Harden, DeAnthony Melton, Tobias Harris, PJ Tucker, and Joel Embiid. They have on their bench Shake Milton, Tyrese Maxey, George Niang, Montrezl Harrell. Now, they just got Jalen McDaniels. They just traded for him, so they got him in there as well. Basically, Doc does use a 10-man rotation. It's really 9, and that, like I said, that's what you're going to get here. It's really 9, and that 10th guy gets about 8 or 9 minutes, And I'm thinking that's what you're going to see with the Knicks. And unfortunately, it'll probably be my man Deuce that gets the 8 or 9 minutes. I guess it depends on who's playing. But see, in their last game, Philly that is, they had the starting 5, obviously. Niang got 20 minutes. Maxey got 22 minutes. Thibault got 10 minutes. Milton got 12. So that's 9. And then Montrezl Harrell got 9. And I think that's what you're going to end up seeing with the Knicks. You're going to see 9 guys get double-digit minutes, and then the 10th guy gets that 8, 9 minutes, in their rotation. Because Doc and really honestly, Doc and Tibbs are very similar. Matter of fact, it was Tibbs that designed the defense on Doc's 2008 NBA champion Boston Celtics. So they're very similar in their thought processes in terms of how they handle the game. Both of them will be barking at the refs the entire game. Very intense, both of these guys. And so it's always an interesting game to watch within the game. Now, against the Philadelphia 76ers, I can tell you right now, guarantee you the Knicks it's gonna be a dogfight. Okay, gonna be a dogfight. Ain't gonna be no blowout, very unlikely. It's gonna go down to the fourth quarter. It's gonna come down to execution in the fourth quarter. Fouls are going to be important. I hope that the refs let them play a little bit. It's Philly, New York, so they, if they call it tight, as long as they're consistent. This is the thing, because these two teams are both physical. So it'd be nice if the refs would just be consistent. That Orlando game, that guy Ford was ridiculous. I mean, absolutely ridiculous on some of his calls, and non-calls. So the Knicks were getting beat up. And every time a wind touched an Orlando Magic player, it was a foul. You know, so and that's the thing. It drives coaches crazy. I know players too. They just looking for the ref to be consistent. Okay, whatever you're gonna make your call, make it a consistent style throughout the whole game. You're gonna call loose, you're gonna call tight. So this is gonna be a physical basketball game. You got some physical players on both sides: Julius Randle, PJ Tucker, Joel Embiid, Artenstein. These are all very physical dudes. So it's gonna be a physical basketball game. It's always a good game when Philly plays New York. It's gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be a tight game. It's gonna go into the fourth quarter. The Knicks are one of the best teams in the NBA. You know, in playing on the road, as we know, they have more of a trouble playing at home than they have playing on the road. But they're a very good basketball team playing on the road. So here we are. And so I'm hoping they can pull out this win. I'm glad if they playing on a Friday, it's not in New York. So, and this is the first game of a back to back. This back to back is a back to back. Back to backs are always tough. I don't care, where they're played, but at least with this one, they're in Philly, and basically it's a bus ride, or a quick train ride up the highway to New York, and they got Utah in Madison Square Garden tomorrow night. It would be more difficult if that Utah game was like a matinee game, after tonight. But no, it's tomorrow night. So that's good. Get a chance Knicks to recover and be ready to play tomorrow night. So let's hope they can pull out this win. Keys for the game, as I mentioned, one is going to be the foul calling. It's going to be a physical basketball game. The Knicks got to cover the 3-point line, as always. Keep Philly out the paint. Keep them out the paint. I'm very confident in our perimeter defense, especially now that we got Josh Hart. I mean, you're not going to see him tonight, but he's going to make a difference on the perimeter defense. You got Quentin Grimes. You got Deuce McBride. You got to really be expecting that. I'm hoping that Jalen Brunson doesn't let the moment get to him. And when I mean that, I mean he obviously can. He's a sniper at the end. But what I'm saying, he's playing in Philly. He just had his uniform retired, University of Villanova, in Philly this past weekend, Wednesday. And so I don't want all that to get to him so that he starts playing hero ball, I guess is what I'm saying. I'm expecting him to do what he's been doing, get everybody involved like he's been doing for the last couple weeks now, and then take over at the end. Okay, that's going to be important. James Harden cannot guard him. Okay, it's as simple as that. James Harden cannot guard him. In fact, James Harden cannot guard Quentin Grimes either. Okay, so and then of course there's going to be another game within the game. Tyrese Maxey and our boy IQ. They always going at it. Two Kentucky dudes, Kentucky brothers. This is going to be interesting here. So it's going to be an interesting game. Again, those are the keys. Keep them out the paint. It's going to be a tough rebounding game. Both teams are rugged. Knicks got to keep up with that rebounding. One of the top teams in the league, as is Philly. Guard the 3-point line. Move the basketball. And I think we should be all right. We're going to see what happens. It's, again, very tough matchup, very physical basketball game, fun basketball game to watch. I won't see it live. I'm going to be looking at it in the replay tomorrow night before the game against the Utah Jazz. So y'all enjoy your Friday night. Let's hope our boys pull out a W. And please be safe out there. Shalom.